Now, turn to...
Now, let me interrupt there for a minute. Now, how is this fact pattern here in this case with the attached office and the separate home distinct from Pena? If in Pena they found it objectively reasonable without consent to the room extended to that bathroom that was affiliated with it, why not the same rationale extend to, isn't this part of the same mansion? Isn't this part of the same home?
Well, Your Honor, in U.S. v. Pena, the bathroom was attached to the hotel room. However, in the case at bar, the office is detached from the mansion. And furthermore, my client specified permission to set limitations. The mansion and the attached garage, indicating that the officer could not search detached structures such as the office.
Now, did they expressly exclude any detached? Or was it by including, saying you can search my home in the garage, was there anything that expressly excluded? Would it be reasonably expected that if he intended to limit the scope of his consent, that he would limit or exclude certain items, that he would, if he had that express intent to exclude that office?
Well, Your Honor, my client set limitations, which was the mansion and attached garage. Thus, he did not expect the officer to go outside the limitations, outside of the scope of my client's consent, and search the office, a detached structure. And if the officer believed that the living spaces was ambiguous, then he should have asked follow-up questions. I mean, my client was inside the mansion, and this was a one-story mansion. It's not like it would have been difficult for Detective Eisenberg to obtain her consent. It's not like she had left already. She was still in the mansion. And Detective Eisenberg knew that she was the one with the key, and the key implies her control over the office. Thus, Detective Eisenberg should have asked for her consent instead of trying the detached structure when he knew there were limitations set.
You're ready?
Now, turning to Detective Eisenberg's belief that Desi had the apparent authority to consent to a search. As held in Stoner v. California, an officer's belief of apparent authority must be objectively reasonable. However, in the case at bar, it was not objectively reasonable given that all the facts known to Detective Eisenberg prove that Desi did not have authority whatsoever over the office. The very first thing that Desi told Detective Eisenberg was that Bailey has the key, indicating that the office is a private area. And if someone does not have a key to said locked area, then they cannot consent to a search of it. An objectively reasonable person would understand this, especially an officer with 25 years of experience. And furthermore, cases have been narrowing a joint occupant's authority to consent. For example, in U.S. v. Davis, the search was unconstitutional given that one of the two roommates did not have expressed authorization from the other co-occupant to consent to a search of their personal item.
30 seconds.
And then in People v. Murillo, the search was unconstitutional given that the defendant was there and he had the key. Thus, the officer should have asked the defendant for permission to search their personal item. Likewise, my client was the one with the key, and Detective Eisenberg knew this. Thus, he should have asked my client for permission to search the office.
Was it unlocked in this instance? Does the key come into, what significance is the key if the door to the office is unlocked?
Well, Your Honor, U.S. v. Matlock states the importance of co-occupants to have joint access and control. However, in the case at bar, Desi did not have control, indicating that she did not have the key. And thus the key is important, given that whoever has the key has control over the office. And furthermore, Desi's joint access to the office was very slim, which is her access was akin to the hotel clerk in Stoner, such as the hotel clerk in Stoner could only enter the client's hotel room with a limited purpose over a limited area. And likewise, Desi could only enter the office with a limited purpose over a limited area, given that Bailey would give Desi consent every now and then to enter the office to obtain startup books for their work. Thus, Desi did not have joint access or control, thus it was unreasonable for Detective Eisenberg to even enter the office at all. For all these reasons, Your Honor, the defense respectfully requests that the court grant this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. All right then, from the prosecution side.
Your Honor, the prosecution asserts that the search of the office was not only constitutional but reasonable. This is based upon three main points. Those points being the fact that both Bailey and Desi gave consent to a search. Secondly, when Desi gave consent to a search, that consent included the office. And my third point is the fact that Detective Eisenberg had reasonable belief that Desi had joint access to the office. So in regards to my first point, what I mean by both Bailey and Desi gave consent to a search, I'm referencing the fact that when Detective Eisenberg entered the premises, he asked Bailey if he may search the premises. Bailey said you may search the mansion and the garage, but she never excludes the guest house. So my client, Detective Eisenberg, being reasonable, asked the co-occupant of the guest house if he may search the guest house. In this instance, that person is Desi. And so this leads me directly to my second point. When he asked Desi if he may search the guest house, it includes the office because it is attached to the guest house. And so this is very similar to the case U.S. v. Penham, where in U.S. v. Penham, the police asked Penham if they may search the hotel room. The hotel room was connected to the bathroom, where the police, after searching the room, they searched the bathroom, they find marijuana, and the evidence was led through and the search was found constitutional on the grounds that when Penham gave consent to search the room, it included the bathroom. In this case, yes, the interior door was locked, but the exterior was unlocked, which indicates joint access. Now, my second point is the fact that...
Stop you for a minute there on the consent by Bailey to search the mansion or house or garage. How can Bailey's consent to search the house and garage include the office